Hello everyone, so it's January 9th and we'll do a garden walkthrough. We haven't done too much yet, but I'm going to use these videos to kind of keep track of all the plants and what does what during what months too, so it's helpful for me as well. But been working a lot lately and haven't really been out here, plus the holidays and everything. But there's some changes and some things to keep track of. So just start walking. We've kind of cleaned up the back area a little bit. Hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll get the shade house put together and built and the boat moved and we can really clear out under here. But all the cordyline cuttings we took last spring are doing great, and they should be, they've been ready to go in the ground. We were seeing if we could sell any of them. And maybe we'll sell some in the spring, and we plan on wrapping the garden around the side and front yard, so we'll be able to use them there too. We split and dug up the blood bananas. I'm not sure if I even showed that. I think maybe last month, but we potted up a couple too. I think we potted up 3. 2 made it, 1 did not, but they'll be ready in the spring. And I've got a couple helicanas back there when we divided up that clump too, and some palms. So just stuff as we've been cleaning up and moving things around, we're able to make more plants. I want to redo the sprinklers too. I'm thinking about getting a different kind of sprinkler head, something with less throw, and we can use more of them and have it more precise so the ground's not wet everywhere. But again, there'll be lots more work in the spring. This is just a pile of cannas. Still haven't painted the back of the house. Again, once the oldest one goes back to school, we'll have more time and do that. The ginger is doing good, but he's died back a bit this winter. Last winter he did not. So we'll just give him a hard prune in the spring, see if we can't pull some rhizomes out of there and start some more. But where he's at, there's fiber optic and power cables underneath, so we're limited as to what we can dig out of there. The copperleaf hedge is doing awesome. We took that from cuttings like 6 months ago at my parents' house, so free plants. And in the spring we'll be able to take cuttings off this and make a bunch more. We've got the helicanas. One clump, we divided it into 2. It's got 1 flower left. They're looking a bit ratty, but it's the time of year. They'll be fine in the spring, and we just split their root ball with a shovel. They don't like that. The yellow bamboo's probably 8 feet tall now. He's been in the ground August, September, October, November, December, 5 months. So this spring, hopefully, we'll get a couple of nice shoots off of him. A couple Elephanius, I don't know what they were. $4 clearance ones at Walmart. That's cool. Cordylines. The Monstera we've got back here is doing awesome. He's going to be too big for this area soon, or we'll just let him fill this way. Singapore twist, cordyline. And something that's cool right now, all of our cordylines, we got that one over there, I'll show you as we walk around, but they're all flowering. And we've got so many different varieties, we hope we get some like crossing and get something new, but if not, we're going to try and harvest the seeds and start from there, as well as take some cuttings this spring, so that'll be exciting. I've never tried growing cordylines from seeds. We'll see how that goes. But from what I've read, they just are flowering now, and then over the next couple of months they will develop berries full of seeds, and we'll see how that goes. The Dendrocalamus Lataflorus, I'll step back a little. All the new shoots he threw in the fall reach their max height. I'm guessing 20 feet maybe. None of them are really throwing branches, which I'm sure they'll branch out in the spring. It's just strange how the Valdus over here, his late fall shoots are branching and starting to leaf out now. But different species, different habits, just learn how it all goes. And some of the Elephanius died completely back, and some are doing great. I forget the name of all of them, but we need to make plant markers too, hopefully soon. Bambooza Contracta, all the late shoots not really branching yet, should look like a slightly smaller gracilis with longer internodes. I can't wait for that to really bush out and block out the neighbors. So many papayas on the papaya tree. And then there's a copperleaf bush that's got to be 10 feet tall. So he's doing awesome. Earl Mark's Philodendron got a pot at M&W for $12. He's tripled in size, and we've taken 4 or 5 cuttings off of him that are all doing well, so that's exciting. More cordyline, all different types, and I can't remember their names. Croton. We cleared out everything under here and undercut the bamboo so you can see the culms. And this one's still less than 2 years old. And I would guess is probably 35 feet tall. For less than 2 years old. By the time he is 2, those new culms should be branched out and lush, and he should have new ones shooting. And we're hoping, it seems like the spring they tend to shoot higher, or you see a bigger difference as far as height gain in the spring. So we're hoping another 10-15 feet, but we'll see. And then we're gonna underplant all of this, as all that happens with calatheas and philodendrons and shade-loving plants. Now that we've got the room, that'll be all in the spring. Old Hemiheros, maybe 16 feet tall or so. But again, we moved him and he's stunted a little bit, but next year should be good. Monsteras, sweet potato vines, cordylines, another papaya. That one's got to be a male because it's not making any fruit. Bambooza Nana. Seems like every time he threw a tall shoot, something would break it off, like the squirrels or something, because there was the power lines up there. So I'm hoping this year he'll do good, because it was a really pretty one, and I'm excited to have something different. The back walls pretty much stayed the same, stayed lush. A couple of the Elephanius died back. And then we've got some Crotons. Oh, that one looks real sad. I don't know what's going on there. The ground's really dry. I'm guessing the spring. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to mess with the sprinklers. I wonder if I got a burst hose or something somewhere. But like some of the Elephanius are doing great, so we'll probably dig that ball out in the spring, divide it into multiple plants, put a couple back here, and then use the rest to spread other places, because I really like the ones that are good all year. The Textilis gracilis bamboos are poking out the top now, getting good height. I'd say 18 foot for the max so far. And again, those were planted, I don't know, it's probably October of last year, so just over a year now. And they're We've got a fire pit and logs here, and I'm not watching, just smash my foot in that. But it's almost not been cool enough to have fires. We burn them just because it smells good while we're working out here, but it's been a hot summer. Helicanas, we'll divide out a bunch of those in the spring and use them in the front and the side yard. But not too much change here. The helicanas always look a little bit rough in the winter, but they do a lot better than cannas and everything like that. Then blood bananas are kind of just tucked in there too. They're getting huge, but each one has 2 pups on it right now, and we'll probably just leave it single specimen and dig those out and use them elsewhere. We've got Bambooza Contracta. He's got 2 new shoots, so hopefully next year he really puts on some more. And then the emerald. I forget all the scientific names. It's been a rough couple months. But on the little name cards I want to make and put at the base of everything, I'll put when it was planted too, so we can kind of see growth and how long it all takes. Got to get rid of that boat, move that one up front. The shade house will go back there, and then a shed back there to keep some tools and free up space inside. Both banana clumps are dying back a little bit in the winter, but each one has a bunch of bananas on it, which is cool. Hopefully we'll get those in the spring, cut out that main one, but if you can see them right there. And these are blue ice cream bananas. And we've got like a pup there that will split out of the ground, because once the bamboo's over here, start to get some size on it, there's not going to be room for them. But I mean, it's been a year, less than a year and a half, I know, and to get like a clump like that is awesome, and it added a tropical feel until the bamboos could come in. Another Singapore twist, and there's all the flowers. So I think, or I'm hoping that the bees can just cross them as they're pollinating, but we'll see what happens. It'll be a fun experiment. Monsters and cordylines are gigantus. He threw only 1 shoot this year, but he was planted super late. Again, it was like August, so towards the end of the season. Next year will be fun, but in a couple years he'll get some size. Another Lataflorus. This one's been stunted since we planted him, but doing good. And then some of these like invasive Elephanius we'll pull out as the monsteras come up and we get some better Elephanius. But just doing what we got, or what we can with what we have, and what's cheap or free and can find and trade. And like there's another pup we'll dig out. There's the other Clump Bananas. This one's got a couple weeks on the other one, so hopefully they'll mature at different times so we have bananas for longer. Here is the Dwarf Buddha Belly. He threw 1 shoot this year and didn't get above 4.5 foot probably. But you can see his little swollen culms. Hopefully next year he'll put a couple more out and get some size on him. There's the blood bananas. It was a clump of, I think, 8. And we split them into 2 clumps here and then potted the rest. And everything except for that one potted one seems to be taking. So that's good. This is Chinese dwarf bamboo. Doing great. I think they'll get 6-8 meters. So he'll just form a big bush and we'll under trim them so you can still walk through the path. And I haven't seen many trimmed like that, so we'll see how it looks. 3 golden multiplex. These guys look ratty, but they were not really getting hit by any sprinklers this year, so they didn't get the kind of growth the others did. We'll see how it goes next year. Nice helicana. Back here was loaded with cannas, And we've just chopped everything down to the ground back there, pretty much anywhere we had cannas. In the spring, as they start to throw new plants off the roots or the rhizomes, we'll divide those up, pot them off, and start getting rid of them. We sold a ton of them last year, like $5 a piece, but all that adds up, and then we can get new plants. And like I said, we haven't really paid for anything in almost a year now, just because we sell off and just put it in an envelope and use it for new things. There's this Dramathia. Forget the name of it. It's the same thing as a copperleaf, but different colors. He's forming a nice bush, and I can take cuttings off of him and get a couple more of those in the spring too. The Dutchman's pipe is probably 30% of the pergola at this point. Next year we'll do a better job of taping the vines up. You can see them all dangling. That'll encourage it to spread faster, and then we cut down the crepe myrtle tree. And there's another one over there that's full of the vine, and once that's gone, it won't have anywhere else to go. It'll just stick to the pergola. But he's developed big fat stems trailing up it. So in the spring, he'll be on the irrigation. We'll fertilize them, and they should take off nicely. Our other Lataflorus, it was a little slower to start, but it's like the first one I showed you. It hasn't started to branch yet, but it's got a couple of nice tall culms. I'm excited for this one, and that'll provide a lot of shade for the pergola as well. Our Eureka Palm that we dug up and got for free, doing great. And because it's a clustering palm, we cut down one that was growing into the bamboo, and we're letting this one here grow up. It was, I don't know, 3-4 feet when we planted them, and now he's over my head, so growing awesome. And it keeps getting more, like here, and I haven't been able to successfully split one off to try and repot it, but I'm going to keep trying, because we don't need it to turn into a bush. We like it to be just like a 3-trunk palm, and hopefully we'll be able to get some out and get them to take and start new ones, but still a work in progress. I don't know if I'm going to need a knife or a shovel to split it off the stem, or how they actually grow. I need to do some research. The black Elephanius black coral, all kind of dying down a good bit for the winter. They did the same thing last year. They don't die out all the way, because some of them, it seems like they completely die out. Some will look really sad but not die all the way to the ground, and some the winter doesn't faze them. So we just want to get as many that we can that really look good year round. But those will look nice in the spring. This is a giant Elephanius. I forget which one. But again, he's growing a little slower in the winter, and in summer they really put on size. Cordyline. There's more of those flowers. And we're also going to get a bunch of collie seeds and caladium bulbs. Get more than we need, grow them up in pots, put half of them around and sell off the other half to pay for it. So I'm excited about that. Really like caladiums. We've got some over there that we planted late, and it's January and they're still here. So I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll get like 100 pack of mixed and just see how it goes. These are the 2 black bamboos on either side of that path there. Again, that was probably planted July of this year. And the tallest one's probably 11-12 foot. So they're doing really good for how late they were planted and everything. And the original culms, I don't know if you can see it because it's really bright out today, but they come up green and now they're starting to fade to brown, and then they'll go black. But I think possibly over in front of the shade house in that area where we were by where the little vegetable garden is, we can plant another decent sized bamboo. And then I'm not sure if we'll do any on the side. I'd love to get the house some shade, but we'll definitely put 3 or 4 in the front yard too. And hopefully some varieties that we don't have. I want to try and get an angel mist, and I'm not sure what else. But we just called 811 and had to mark all the utility lines and everything, and I got a can of paint, so in the next couple of days we'll go out there and start playing where we want to move all the beds and change everything out there. Well, that'll be fun in the spring, and we'll take a drive out, and there's I forget the name of it, but all they do, it's nursery, they just do cordylines and crotons. And I want to see what they've got, and then we'll go back to tropical bamboo and pick up the ones for the front yard. So that's all coming. And then I wanted to build a waterfall this winter. We'll see. And it was gonna go over there, but if the Bambooza Nana and the old hammy really start taking off and all those monsteras are doing good, we might put a path through the shade house to that back shed, and then where that path is there, there's a giant thorny bamboo in a pot, and then some bricks, and then a boat. But get rid of all that and have like a waterfall tucked back in that corner. We'll see. Which I know I missed a ton of plants this time, and I'm not really sure, but I want to do a good job this year of at least getting one garden tour a month, and then try and do one other video, because when we get the shade house set up, I'll do that. When we change the irrigation system over, the waterfall, if we get to it, I want to get an aeroponic cloner and try and see how that works on some of these plants. I don't know if anybody's seen them, but pretty much it's like and if you have, let me know and how it goes, but pretty much it's like a nutrient-rich rooting hormone water in a sprayer, and the roots, or where they'll come out of, just kind of dangle, and you set it up on a timer and it sprays them every couple of minutes, and it's supposed to root things really fast. I don't think it's very popular for tropical gardening, maybe for other kind of growing, but I'd like to get one and see how it works. But we are getting some shade back here, which is nice. Next year it'll look really cool as the vines come up. This area is a mess, which most of the yard is now. But whatever, it's progress. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully we get some more done by next month. Hope everybody's doing well, staying safe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, bye.